A Florida woman who survived an attack by notorious serial killer Ted Bundy says in a new book that passing headlights in the middle of the night saved her life. News.com has learned details of a new memoir by Kathy Kleiner Rubin, which recalls the night Bundy murdered two of her sorority sisters. Bundy broke into the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University in Tallahassee one night in January 1978. He killed Margaret Bowman and Lisa Levy in their beds. They were beaten and strangled. Then he grabbed a fireplace log and went into Rubin's room. He slammed the log onto my face with tremendous force, Rubin recalled. I wanted to scream, but I could not. That was because Bundy had broken both of Rubin's jaw joints, causing her to bite nearly all the way through her tongue. Bundy attacked Rubin's roommate the same way, she writes in the new book A Light in the Dark, surviving more than Ted Bundy. Her roommate also survived. They were saved because the curtains were open in their room, Rubin writes. A car pulled into the Chi Omega driveway at 3 a.m. Rubin writes the car's headlights scared Bundy, who ran from the house. At first, responding paramedics thought Rubin had been shot. She was unable to tell them at the time what really happened due to her injury. Rubin says her mother tried to avoid informing her Bundy was the attacker during her recovery. Bundy had escaped law enforcement custody twice at the time. He had been sentenced to 15 years in Utah prison for kidnapping, then was transferred to Colorado to face a murder charge there, where he escaped from the law library at a county jail. Caught within 5 days, Bundy later escaped from a jail cell at another facility in 1977 by climbing through a light fixture in the ceiling. He then made his way to Florida and eventually broke into the Chi Omega house on January 15, 1978. Bundy was convicted of killing the Florida State students, Levy and Bowman, in July 1979. He was executed by electric chair in 1989 for killing at least 30 women during the 1970s. Rubin was invited to watch the execution, but she chose to avoid it, Fox News reports. I boxed up my memories, moved to a new state, and pushed forward with my life, she explained. Rubin is the first of Bundy's survivors to tell her story in a book. But it's more than her personal story. I mention all the women, the dozens of women that he killed, she told Fox News. Usually there's a paragraph with all our names written with commas. And that just wasn't right. Rubin has tried to contact her Chi Omega sisters since that scary night, but she says no one has replied. Rubin's book title references the hardships she endured both before and after Bundy attacked her. Rubin had lupus from childhood. She worked as a teller at a bank that was robbed. She lived in New Orleans with her husband and Hurricane Katrina wiped out much of the Louisiana Gulf Coast in 2005. And she survived breast cancer. Yet it's the attack by Bundy that has made Rubin famous enough to speak at the CrimeCon True Crime Convention in Orlando in late September. I'm here to help other people know that they can survive and thrive, Rubin told East Idaho News at the convention. It helps me to talk about my life and the things I've been through. Now I'm healed, physically and mentally. The healing included work at a lumberyard, Rubin said, because I was afraid of men. Rubin adds in her book that Bundy killed because he wanted to keep their souls. He would have sex with the bodies afterward. He'd go and put makeup on the dead corpses. He was very manipulative. Rubin has since returned to live in Florida with her husband, according to her author bio. Her book is scheduled to be published on October 3. The Associated Press notes a separate novel based on the Florida State killings, Bright Young Women, by Jessica Knoll, was published this September. It includes an acknowledgement to Rubin.